A millionaire named Ryan had always lived a life of luxury. Expensive cars, private jets, mansions around the world, he had it all. But today, he was nervous. Today, he was attending his ex-fiancée's wedding. He hadn't spoken to Emily in over 3 years. The breakup had been messy, and their engagement had ended in scandal. Ryan had been invited as a guest, but the thought of seeing her in her wedding dress made his chest tighten. On the morning of the wedding, while waiting for his driver, Ryan noticed a woman sitting on the curb outside his building. She was shivering in a worn-out coat, her hair tangled, and she looked completely lost. Most people would have ignored her, but something about her caught his attention. "Are you okay?" he asked. The woman looked up, startled, and then shook her head. I have nowhere to go," she admitted softly. Ryan hesitated for a moment, then smiled. "Hop in. I can take you somewhere safe." She looked at him incredulously. "Why would you help me?" He shrugged. "Because sometimes people need a little kindness." No reason at all. Her name was Lily, and as they drove to the hotel, Ryan realized she wasn't just another homeless woman. She had a grace about her, a quiet confidence, and an infectious laugh that made him forget the stress of the day. When they arrived at the wedding, Ryan handed Lily a stunning dress he had ordered last minute from a boutique. She stepped out of the car, transforming before his eyes. She looked like she belonged on a magazine cover, and Ryan felt a strange sense of pride. Inside the hall, the guests were oblivious to her arrival. Lily followed Ryan to his table, her poise turning heads even before the ceremony started. Whispers began to ripple across the room as Emily, the bride, noticed her. Emily's eyes widened. "Who is she?" she whispered to her bridesmaid. Lily smiled politely, ignoring the stares. She walked with confidence, taking her seat near Ryan. He watched in awe as she carried herself with elegance, her presence commanding attention without a single word. When the music started and the ceremony began, all eyes were on Emily, but every time Lily smiled or laughed softly, people couldn't help but look her way. She had this magnetic energy, this charm that seemed to outshine even the bride. During the reception, Ryan noticed Emily staring at Lily repeatedly, a flash of confusion and envy in her eyes. Lily noticed too, but she remained graceful, never seeking attention, just letting her natural aura speak for itself. Later, when it was time for speeches, Ryan was asked to say a few words. He stood up, glanced at Lily, and then spoke. "Life has a funny way of teaching us lessons. Today, I'm reminded that true beauty isn't in wealth or titles, but in kindness, confidence, and heart. Some people walk into our lives unexpectedly, and leave a mark we can't ignore." The guests turned to look at Lily, who blushed softly. Applause erupted, but Emily's expression had changed completely. Her smile was tight, her composure shaken. As the night went on, Lily danced, laughed, and charmed everyone effortlessly. By the end of the evening, it was undeniable, she had stolen the show. People whispered about the mysterious woman who had turned a wedding upside down, leaving everyone in awe of her presence. Ryan watched her and realized something important. It wasn't just that she stole the show, she reminded him that life was unpredictable, and sometimes, the most unexpected people could make the biggest impact. As they left the hotel, he turned to her. "You know, you didn't just steal the show, you stole the night." Lily laughed, a warm, soft sound that made Ryan smile for the first time in years. "Maybe, but the real lesson tonight? Life has a way of giving second chances, and sometimes, it rewards kindness in the most unexpected ways." And for Ryan, that night wasn't about a wedding, or his ex-fiancée, it was about the woman who changed everything just by being herself. After the wedding, Ryan and Lily stepped outside into the cool night air. The city lights glimmered, reflecting off the rain-slick streets. For a moment, neither spoke, they just walked, side by side, letting the silence settle comfortably between them. "Thank you," Lily finally said, her voice soft. "For today, and for believing in me." Ryan glanced at her. "You didn't need me to believe. You carried yourself like that all along. I just gave you a little push." She shook her head, smiling. "You gave me a chance most people never would. Anne. I think I'll never forget it." They stopped at a small park, where the fountain's gentle water reflected the moonlight. Ryan sat on the edge of the fountain and gestured for Lily to sit next to him. "Can I ask you something?" he said. "Of course," she replied. "Why, out of all the people in the world, did you keep your head high today? I mean, everyone was looking, whispering, and yet you didn't falter once." Lily laughed quietly. "I've been through a lot. Life has a way of teaching you resilience. But tonight, I realized it wasn't about impressing anyone. It was about showing up for myself. And you let me do that." Ryan smiled, his eyes softening. "You know, I think that's why I couldn't take my eyes off you. Not just because you looked stunning, but because you reminded me what really matters. Strength. Kindness. Confidence." For a moment, the city noises faded, leaving only the sound of the fountain and the quiet warmth between them. Then Lily hesitated. "There's something I need to ask," she said, biting her lip. Ryan tilted his head. "Anything. Will you let me stay in your life? Not as a guest at some event, but really stay?" Ryan's chest tightened. He took a deep breath, realizing he hadn't felt this alive in years. "Lily. I was hoping you'd ask that." "Yes. Stay. Always." She smiled, and for the first time in years, both of them felt completely at home, not in a mansion, not in a wedding hall, but simply in each other's presence. As they walked back toward the car, the memory of Emily's stunned face at the wedding still lingered in Ryan's mind. But it no longer mattered. Tonight, the spotlight wasn't on wealth, appearances, or status. It was on something far more rare and powerful, two people recognizing the true value of each other. And for Ryan and Lily, that night was just the beginning of a story no one expected, but everyone would remember. The night had quieted down. The last guests had left the wedding hall, and the city lights reflected softly in the puddles on the streets. Ryan and Lily stood outside, hand in hand, the cool breeze brushing their faces. "You really stole the show tonight," Ryan said, a small grin tugging at his lips. "Everyone couldn't stop looking at you." Lily laughed softly, a mix of joy and disbelief. "I didn't come here to impress anyone," she said. "I just wanted to be myself." Ryan shook his head, still smiling. "And that's exactly why you did. The whole room couldn't help but notice your light. You didn't just walk in, you changed the night." They paused near the fountain, the moonlight casting silver highlights on the water. Lily leaned her head on Ryan's shoulder, and for the first time in years, he felt complete. The memories of heartbreak, the chaos of past relationships, all of it seemed distant, insignificant compared to this moment. "You know," Ryan whispered, "life is strange. It gives you second chances when you least expect them. And sometimes, the people who were ignored all their lives end up shining the brightest. Lily looked up at him, eyes glistening. "Then let's not waste this chance," she said softly. Ryan pulled her close. "Not a chance," he promised. They stood there for a while, watching the city lights, feeling the quiet strength between them. No applause, no attention, no extravagant parties, just two people, finally finding the life they were meant to share. As they walked toward the car, the wind carried faint whispers of admiration from the remaining onlookers. But Ryan and Lily didn't need anyone else to notice. Tonight, they had stolen the night together. And as the car drove away, Ryan glanced at her and said with a grin, "This is only the beginning." Lily smiled, and in that moment, they both knew it. Their story wasn't just over one wedding, it had just begun.